Michael Schur here at TYT as we go through some of the issues this election season. We talk now about Donald Trump, his take on foreign policy, national security, immigration. He has not been shy about what he thinks are the failings of the country and how he would be better at fixing those things. In foreign policy, when it comes to Israel, he is pro-Israel and he advocates for support for that country at every turn, at every stop. He thinks it is the most important part of our foreign policy. He wants, when it comes to China, to expand our military presence in the South China Sea. He thinks that by being near China, we will intimidate China, we will help change China, and he wants to label them as currency manipulators, meaning that they are manipulating the markets, manipulating other countries' economies by manipulating their own currency. So he sees China, he points to it all the time, as problematic. He said it in the Republican debates, in the primaries, and he said it as well in the debates with Hillary Clinton. And when it comes to Iran, he thinks the nuclear arms deal with Iran has been a disaster. He thinks Iran will not follow the inspections and they will still get the benefit of a decrease in sanctions. And he thinks that it's the worst, as he says, quote unquote, all the time, the worst trade deal in our history. It's not really a trade deal, it's a deal, and he thinks it's the worst deal in our history. And when it comes to national security, though, he talks all the time about ISIS, how the country is not doing enough about it. His cure right now is to send in ground troops, a little different because he does not specify exactly how he would do it. His opponent Hillary Clinton says she'll work with Kurdish forces. Donald Trump hasn't said that. He just says we'll send in ground troops. He wants to increase the size and spending of the military in this country, something that both candidates in their own ways have said they want to do, but Trump calls that as the final line of national defense, thinks there hasn't been enough spending in this administration. Easy to say in front of the audiences that he's facing, but certainly part of his plan to keep America safe. And he advocates extreme vetting of Muslims. We'll talk about immigration in a moment, but he puts this under national defense. Vetting Muslims entering this country, he says, is a big part of his national defense. Now, you would think that that would go under immigration. Not exactly. With immigration, he wants to take the problems that are here already and solve them and not create new ones, which is why he puts the Muslim vetting as part of his national defense. With immigration, he wants large-scale deportation raids in this country. We all know that he wants to build a wall on the border with Mexico. That is the first thing he said in the Republican debates that raised a lot of eyebrows, or maybe not the first thing, among the many things he said in that first debate. But he wants to build the wall, but he also wants to deport people from this country. He wants to deport dreamers from this country. People that Hillary Clinton, people educated here, he wants to send them out and have them reapply for entrance. That is sort of the opposite of what the Dreamer movement wants, of course, and he's going to face a little bit of difficulty getting that done because of the makeup of the Congress were he to become president. And he thinks that E-Verify on that score should be mandatory. E-Verify, a system where you have to show verification for employers. It's employers sign up for this system with the government, making sure that everyone that they employ is legally here in the United States. He thinks it should be mandatory for every employer. He's a little bit less immigrant-friendly than some other candidates who have come across this screen. Anyway, these are the issues that are dividing these candidates. You now know where Donald Trump stands in a concise way on immigration, on foreign policy, and on national security. I'm Michael Schur, TYT.